Hi guys, if you've ever wondered how to create a directory website with WordPress using whatever theme you like, then today is your lucky day because this video is going to show you how. For this video, we're going to be using a few different plugins. First of all, we're going to be using custom post type UI. Okay, so this will allow us to set up and register our custom post type. We're also going to be using ACF, Advanced Custom Fields. Okay, and this will allow us to define a set of custom fields for our post type. So for instance, we might add an address field, a field for a phone number, extra taxonomies or categories, and other fields as well. For this video, we will actually be using the pro version of this plugin, but you don't necessarily need to use that pro version to follow along. We're just going to use it for the gallery field type that it gives us access to. And then the third plugin we'll be using will be Elementor Pro, and we'll be using this to allow us to create the two templates we need for the front end. Okay, so the archive page and the single directory listing page. So that's it, guys. Just going to install these. Just take a second. So if we go to plugins and add new, we're going to search for CPT UI, and it's this first one here, custom post type UI. Install now. Activate, and then we're going to add advanced custom fields, so we can search for ACF or advanced custom fields in the keyword search box, and it's this one in the middle here, advanced custom fields. Install now, activate. And I'm also going to upload the pro version, so if we go to upload plugin, and then we'll browse for ACF Pro, and we'll install that and activate plugin, and that's it, we're all set up. So the next step is to register our custom post type. So we can do that with the CPT UI plugin that we've just installed. So if you look to the left-hand menu, right at the bottom, there she blows CPT UI. If we click on add or edit post type, we can add a new post type. So quite simply, all we need to do is give it a name. So in the post type slug, I'm just going to call this one. This is actually going to be a directory of underwater museums, which sounds and looks absolutely fascinating. So there you go. Pop that in there. We can give it a label, so the plural label. So that'd be underwater museums or just museums, and the singular label, pretty self-explanatory. And at a minimum, that's all we actually need to do. There's various other bits and pieces we can add here. We've got a menu name, which is basically, you know, the name that's going to be used in the left-hand menu over here, and some various other labels for the user interface. But for now, that's all we need to do. So I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. Click on Add Post Type. And now to the left hand, in the left-hand menu, you should see Underwater Museums. We've added a new post type. Great stuff. We're also going to use CPT UI to set up a taxonomy. Okay, so a taxonomy or a set of categories. So we actually want a taxonomy for country, and we're going to have a list of countries in here. So the taxonomy slug is country, the plural, as I'm sure you know, is countries, and then the singular label will be country, and attached to post type. So we need to select underwater museums, and that's fine. We can click on add taxonomy. And that's added that taxonomy to our custom post type. So now if we go to underwater museums, if we hover on the menu item, we can see we've got a new option here, countries. We can click on countries, and we can add our countries in as we like. So I'm going to add in Mexico, I'm going to add in Spain, France, Australia. For now, that's all we need to do in CPT UI. Next, we're going to set our field groups in ACF, Advanced Custom Fields. So the menu item second from the bottom and the left-handed menu, Custom Fields. That's where we're going to go and have a look. We're going to click on Add New, give it a title. So this can be Museum, Underwater Museum Fields. And if we click on Add Field, it opens up the interface, and we can see we've got a field label. So what is this field going to contain? So our first field is going to contain address, so the field label, the field name, which is auto-populated from the label. We've then got field types. You've got a number of choices here of different sort of data types. Okay, so you've got a text field, a text area, a number, a range of numbers, an email field, a URL field, a password field, image field. There's a lot of choice here. So For this one, we are going to use Google Map field, and then we're going to add another field, which is depth. This is just going to be a text field. So this is literally the depth of the underwater museum. These museums are, you know, for divers and stuff like that. So that's cool. Add another field, install date. So the field type for this one is going to be a date picker. And we can set the format of the date, day, month, year. That seems to work for me. I'm going to add another field, which is going to be gallery 1. And field type gallery. You've got some settings here, preview size. We're going to add another field, which is going to be gallery 2. We've already got our default fields, so obviously the title and the description, which we can pull. And to get us going, that is going to be all we need for now. Okay, so we can publish that. We've published our set of fields. Now, underneath location, okay, we need to set our rules. So show this field group if post type is equal to, then we're going to select underwater museum, and we're going to update. And that's that. We've set up our custom fields. So now if we go to underwater museums, okay, and we click on add new, we should see our different field types here. Okay, so we've got the Google Map here. Actually, I need to set up the Google Maps API, which I'll do next. So to start with, you are going to need a Google API key. We need to get this set up on an account that has billing enabled with an active payment method, or else it won't work. So you're going to go to cloud.google.com/maps-platform and click on the Get Started button. I've already got my account set up. Okay, so if you haven't got your account set up, you're just going to go through and basically set that up and add your credit card and all the rest of it. Once you've done that, we can go and add a new project. So we click on new project. I'm going to call it Project Museum. I'll click on Create. The services enabling here. That's great. Okay, we're going to need to make sure we've enabled the APIs that we need. So we need the Places API and the Maps JavaScript API. Okay, so we're going to go to the API library and we are going to go to Maps JavaScript API. We're going to click on Enable. Great stuff. And we are then going to go to Places API and click Enable. And Places API will give us autocomplete and on the locations, which I'll show you in a second. We then need to get our API key, which is found under Credentials. We'll click on Create Credentials API Key. There's our key. We're going to copy our key, close that. Okay, now we can restrict the access to the key, okay? So we can set it to only certain websites or IP addresses. But for now, I'm going to leave that open. And we are going to go to our WordPress dashboard. Okay, and Elementor, quite simple. We can go to Elementor settings, integrations, and we can pop our new API key in there and then click Save Changes, and that should get the Elementor widgets working. But for this usage, I actually need to use it on advanced custom fields. Okay, so we need to get it into the ACF interface. So we're going to need to use another plugin for this. So I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New, okay, and I'm going to search for a plugin that allows us to add code to our website. So we're going to use one made by a company called Space Chimp, My Custom Functions. So I'm going to install that and click on Activate, and then scroll down. Select the settings, okay, and you can see we can now enter PHP code. I'm just going to pop the API key in there for a second and going to visit the ACF website, okay, and in the documentation you'll find the settings for the Google Map API settings, okay. We actually need this bit of code here to register the API key and get it working with ACF. So I'm going to copy that. Go back to our dashboard, paste it in there, get our API key, paste it, replace it where the X's are, and that on. And we're going to save that, save changes. Okay, just check the front end That's working okay. Yeah, that's fine, no problems there. So now if we go to underwater museums and if we click on add new, and you can see under our address field, our Google Map field, you can see that it's published a map there, and I mean, it says Melbourne. I'm in the UK. That's fine. We can set that to be, you know, wherever we want with using coordinates. Let's have a look if the autocomplete works. So let's see. This guy is one Strand, for instance, and there you go. You can see autocomplete is now working. So I can start to type an address. It will connect with the API, the Google Places API. It will suggest some addresses that match the characters I've entered so far. We can choose one, and then it places our pin on the map and generates the map for us. Great stuff. That's exactly the outcome we was looking for. So yeah, that's it. So now we have our custom post type set up, our underwater museums directory. We need to start adding some data to that directory. So very quickly, I am just going to add a couple of listings. So I'm going to go to underwater museums and add new, and you can see here is the user interface for adding a new listing. So I'm going to copy and paste across some content. So we have a title for our directory listing. We have a description. We have an address, so we will get our address and we will put it in the Google Maps box, and you can see the autocomplete gives us some options. We'll select our options and the map centers around our location. Perfect, exactly what we're looking for. I'm going to add a couple more of these fields. So we've got a field for the depth of the museum. We've also got a field for the installation date. And then we've got the gallery field. We'll just use these 4 each. Okay, so the gallery field there. Okay, there you go. And I've got the second gallery. We might as well use the same images just for the demo purposes. And we've then got another field for a quote. Has this one got a quote? I'm also going to set a featured image. Choose one of these. This one looks good. And we have our country's taxonomy. So I shall add our country, which is Spain. And I'll publish. And there you go. That's the first listing. Okay. And actually, if we preview our listing, you'll see that by default, the WordPress template is only set up to display the standard fields. So that's the title, the description, and the featured image, although the theme hasn't got it actually set up at the moment. So we're going to deal with that very shortly when we add our template, our single post template. Yeah, right, bear with me a second. I'm just going to add a couple more listings. And that's that. So we now have 4 underwater museums listed to our directory. So that should give us something to work with on the templating. So we're now going to move on and we're going to create the archive template and the single post template from here. Okay, so we're going to go into the to the WordPress dashboard. We're going to select templates and go to theme builder. You can see here all of the different options you've got for creating your templates. You can create, you know, headers, footers, etc. But to start with, we need to create an archive. Okay, so we're going to create our first archive. So we click on this green Add New Archive button, or indeed at the top here, Add New. We'll give the archive a name, the template a name. So we call it Museum Archive. And click on Create Template. Now, obviously, you could use one of these blocks or one of the page templates. There's a few to choose from here. I'm going to choose this 2-column template. Click on Insert. Actually, this widget here is actually the archive post. That's not going to work for a custom post type, so I'm going to delete that and then go over to the widgets, and we are going to use the posts widget. Let's drop that in here. Okay, you can see we've got our post in here. It's actually just pulling the blog post.
So we need to go down to the query on the left-hand side and just drop that down to our post type underwater museums. And then you can see straight away it's actually populated our page. That's great, that's amazing, it's exactly what we're looking for. I've actually got 4 posts on it at the moment, so it'd be quite nice if we drop that down to 2 columns. There's a few different skins that you can choose. So you've got cards, full content, and actually it only pulls the default fields for the full content. But we leave it on classic, that looks quite nice. You can set the number of posts per page, you can change the position of the image, or even whether it has an image. You can change the size of the image, image ratio, etc. There's metadata in there which lists the date and comments, and you can add other metadata, but we don't need that, so we're going to delete those. Yeah, I think that will be fine. That will get us going. That's the archive template. So we click publish, and then we need to set where we want this template to display. So if we click on add condition, and yeah, we're going to set it to all archives. That's going to be fine for what we need at the moment. So if we click save and close. Obviously, if your site has got multiple archives, you're going to need to create different templates if you want them to use a different template. If we look on the front end, there you go. You can see this is our category page. This is our archive. Okay, so we obviously want to keep this as simple as possible. So I'm literally just going to drop the different fields in and show you how to start creating your directory. After we've done that, we can obviously look at adding some visual interest to the page, tidying it up, and all the UX and all the rest of it. But yeah, to start with, we're just going to drop in the post title. Okay, so that's going to pull, as it says, the title of the individual post. We're then going to drop in the post content, so that's going to get us the copy. We then need to get in the custom fields that we've added. Okay, so we're dropping a Google Maps because we've got our Maps field, and again on the left-hand side, if we click on dynamic tags, we can select ACF field, and then we can select our key, which is going to be the address. Okay, that's great. What else have we got? We've then got a couple of other pieces of content in there, so we can drop in this heading, and we'll use that for our other custom fields. So click on dynamic tags, go to ACF field, click on the little spanner icon, drop down a key, and we want the depth. That's great. Let's duplicate that again. So 2 more. So we've got 2 more custom fields. So we've got the install date, okay, and the third one we actually had a little quote, so we drop that in there. Awesome. We've then got some images as well, so we will choose one of these galleries. Let's just choose the basic gallery just to get us up and running. Again, left hand side, dynamic tags, ACF, gallery field. Click on the key, we've got gallery 1, and we had a second gallery as well, but we didn't actually populate that with any data. So for now, that is going to be all we need to do to actually pull the data from our custom post types. If we publish that, add the condition, now we can do it across all posts, or we can just select the underwater museums. So I'm going to do just that, all underwater museums, click on save and close. And that's it. That's the template. Obviously, we haven't actually looked at the way the page works or anything like that. But for the first instance, we just need to pull the data. So now, if we go back to our website and let's have a look. If we go to our templates and we look at our archive templates in the theme builder, if we preview that, here's our archive. Click on our listing, and here's our listing. That's it, guys. We have created a very simple directory. Obviously, lots of different directions you can go with this. Lots of functionality you can add. As I say, we haven't looked at any kind of design elements or making a good-looking directory, but we'll do that in the next video. This is part 1. So yeah, if this has been of any use to you, if you found it good to watch, then please drop me a comment. Let me know if you've got any questions, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Okay, quickly going to just spend 5 minutes and tidy up this template. So we're in the dashboard. We're going to go to Templates, Theme Builder, and we're going to go and look at our archive page. So we're going to hover on that and then click Edit with Elementor. And as you can see, we don't do the archive page. We want to do the museum, the single page, the single listing template. So hover on Museum Single, click on Edit with Elementor. This will load up our template. So we're just going to have a little bit of a tidy up.